All right. Today's episode is all about journaling. I talked about journaling hundreds of times already on my Instagram story, on Facebook, in my written posts, also in real life when I meet and hang out with friends or family members. They always hear me highly speaking of journaling. I strongly believe in the power of journaling. I can definitely see the benefits I get, and I can see what it does to others. Journaling is so easy and yet so powerful. And in this podcast, I want to dive in, let you know what I do, how I structure my journal, and how you can get started too. So, I want to start with a little story. The first time ever I got in contact with journaling was about 3 years ago when I emigrated to Brazil. Back then, a friend of mine, shout out to Yannick, hope you listen to this. So Yannick, he gave me a little notebook as a goodbye present. And in this notebook was written only one sentence. It was something along the lines, write down all your adventures and we are going to talk about them once we catch up. Something like that. And now I'm having this notebook in front of me. There's nothing in there, literally just empty. And in the beginning I was hyped. So, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that, right? I'm going to write down everything I'm experiencing here in Brazil and all my stories. It's going to be like this cool book with all the cool memories. And as you can imagine, I did it for a day or two, maybe three, but then I put it aside because I was like, writing all the time, so many new impressions, and obviously I cannot take 3 hours a day just to write everything down. It's not realistic, and eventually I put it away. Okay. Then, almost magically, I would come across journaling over and over again on podcasts, on YouTube. I heard it everywhere. Literally everywhere. Maybe it's due to the fact that I mainly listen to self-improvement podcasts, that I listen to leaders, business leaders in the fitness space, and all of them talk about journaling and what benefits they get. It's almost like everyone journals on this entire planet, but me, I don't. So it was kind of a sign for me that I need to start doing it too. And so I started, or I should say, I wanted to start every morning what I felt. Just very random thoughts about how I slept, how I was, whatever was on my mind. I wrote it down again on this little notebook that I got from my friend. I had no real structure, so I didn't follow a protocol, any specific questions. It was literally just writing down everything that came to mind. Okay, and somehow it helped me just organizing my thought. It's literally just sit down, think of whatever comes to mind, and writing it down. It really helped me to just see what's going on in my head. So even this, my start was kind of helpful, I would say. And helped me really organize my thoughts, right? Now, I still wasn't consistent with it. I would journal a day or two, then one day not. I would journal for a week, and then again, 3 days not. I didn't take it very seriously until I found myself in a pretty bad mental state. More about that another time. I touched upon this in my last episode. So if you wanna hear about it, then go back to the last episode where I talk about the love story of me and Gabriela, my fiance. Go and check that out. Anyway, I would find myself in this really dark place mentally. I was stressed. I was very, very anxious. Those who know my story, they know that I had a very, very stressful time with emigration from Switzerland to Brazil, with my 9 to 5 job that I had back then, with my side business, gym performance, with the newborn, obviously, with organizing visa, car, and like apartment, and everything in between, learning the language, etc. It was super stressful. And I said, I need to do something about it, because it got to the point where I was so stressed. I was so stressed that I found myself teeth grinding. So at night I would grind my teeth, and it was super uncomfortable. And I noticed when I would wake up, like I knew that I did it. It got to the point where I got kind of insomnia, couldn't sleep anymore. Or when I eventually slept, I would wake up a lot of times during the night, all in sweat, and would think about the things that were going on. It's just too much stress, to be honest. Just too much stress. Not really healthy. And I told myself it cannot go like this anymore. I need to clear my mind. I need to do something. Until now, I always used the gym as an outlet, but in this scenario, it just wasn't enough. I had to do something, and so I committed to journal on a daily basis. I said, you already got some benefits, and now in order to reap the full benefits and get in a better mental state, you're going to journal. No matter what, every single morning, you're going to do that. This was 3 years ago, and reflecting my journey, I can say this was an absolute game changer. And I don't know why I haven't done it previously, even when I was fine. I mean, I'm still doing it to this date, and I can't say I'm in a much better mental state, but still, I get so much out of it, to the point where whenever I miss doing my journal in the morning, the day is not going to be good. It's weird to say that, but it's always like that. There are occasions I don't journal, especially now when I go up early in the morning, go my morning walk. By the time I'm back, my daughter is awake, so I make breakfast and I drive her to kindergarten. Then I drive my fiance to work and so on. Just when it's very hectic, I don't do it. And in almost, I would say in 90% of those days, something's going to happen later today, and I feel shit. I feel not good about myself, and I just remember back, why haven't I done the journaling? It must be because of that. So maybe it's just mentally, I don't know, but I really believe in it, and I know it's going to be a good day when I journal. Okay. Even if I look back, so when you look back on my journey, since the moment, ever since I started journaling, so many things have happened in my life, very positive ones. As I said, I'm in a much better mental state. I'm 100% more positive. I'm in general more open. I know exactly what I want. I'm more structured. My thoughts are better channeled. And you could take that even further and say that now I have my own business. Back then, gym performance was just a side business. You can say I'm engaged now. Back then, obviously, I wasn't. We were just like, Gabriela was my girlfriend. Right now, I have a team. Okay. I have a team, like employees that work for gym performance. And I obviously don't want to give full credits. Like, it's not because of journaling. I have no team and I'm self-employed and all these things, but it helps. Okay, it definitely helps. Journaling is a game changer. It's an absolute game changer, and if you don't do it now, I won't tell you. Journal too. Now, coming back to me, to my story, the problem was for me, especially in the beginning, that I didn't know what to write. And perhaps you're in the same position. You know, journaling can benefit you, but how does it work? What should I do? I mean, journaling, yeah, you sit down, you make some notes. It's difficult if you don't have a structure, if you don't have any guidelines, if you do it at random times, if you cannot stick to it. Now, what I did, I simply purchased some journals that are out there and I tried them out. They're like books, physical books filled with questions and questions about life, about what you want to achieve, about your feelings and so on. And I found this very, very helpful because now I have structures, now I have new inputs, and it's no longer just like random thoughts that I'm writing down. And I've tried various journals. They all come with different questions. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, some of them even take longer. So you would write for 15 minutes, which honestly is too long for me. I like journaling, but only as long as it's short and simple, as it helps me. So what I do is 5 to 10 minutes, but I will address that later. Now, all these journals that I've tried, they have three things that they all share. Three main things of journaling that are essential. Okay, it's number one, three things that you're grateful for. It's three things that you want to achieve today, and affirmations. Okay, affirmations are things that you want to achieve in life. Could also be characteristics that that are important to you, just like how you want to be, how you want other people to perceive you, certain values you stand for. And what you do is you simply write those things down as if you already have achieved that. So an example, you write down, I am a happy person. It might not be fully true yet, but you want to be a happy person, so you write it down. Maybe you want your own business, so you write it down. I am in present again, I am a successful business owner. It could be, I am a loving husband. It could be, I am a house owner, whatever you want in life. You just write it down. It sounds weird now to you, but explain the science behind it in a second. Those three things, they're the basics, and you need to do them every single day. Every single day. If you do those essential things, you're going to see a massive difference in your life. I promise. A massive improvement in your life simply by writing out those three things every single day. And now I want to talk about why those things are so important. So let's start with the gratitude list. What are you grateful for? I think it's very self-explanatory. It's just a reminder of what you have, what you achieved so far. The thing is, so often, if you do something for a long time, you'll no longer appreciate it. For example, in my case, it was home office. I've been doing home office since 2018, so long before COVID, long before everyone would do it. And after a while, I was just so used to it, and I would just no longer appreciate it, right? This just helps to remind you, okay, it's actually a cool thing. It's very cool because after a while, you feel like home office, it's lonely and it has some downsides, but it's also like very cool because now you don't no longer need to go there, go to work, commute back and forth, You can save time. You have like, you can even schedule or make your own schedule for the day. It's super cool and I love it. Um, but it's something that we tend to forget, right? Or for me in Brazil, obviously, I'm a sun lover, and after a while, I would so used to it, and I totally forget to appreciate it. I mean, now back in Switzerland, I think of it all the time. Like, how cool would it be if it was warm and sunny? But back then, it was so normal, I didn't appreciate it anymore. Or another example, here in Switzerland, I'm very grateful for my mom. She's right now with my daughter, and it's easy to forget those little things. And writing it down is kind of a reminder, because you need to think about it. What are you actually um, grateful for? It could even be for your health, that you're healthy. Because when was the last time you said, "Oh, I'm grateful for being a healthy human being"? Probably you don't say it ever until you're sick, right? Until you're sick, then think, "Oh, I want to be healthy." Or in my case, I never said I appreciate the sun until I'm now back in Switzerland. Now I want it again. But back then I didn't really appreciate it. Does it make sense? Or home office. For me, it's so normal. But if I had to go in an office and work there, I would absolutely hate it. Okay? So gratitude list is very important that you do that. Small things, doesn't need to be big. It could even be, I'm grateful for my wife's cooking skills, or that I can spend time with my daughter or whatnot. Can be little things, but we need to write them down. Okay. Second thing, things you want to achieve today. Why is that important? Simply so you know that what you want to achieve this day. Okay. If you don't know, if you don't do this, you're in a reactive state, meaning when a coworker comes to you and asks you for a favor, or if a friend calls you and asks you to do something, you will simply say yes and serve them first, do everything they want, and you will forget what you wanted to do in the first place, or what actually your job is, what your goals are. On the other hand, if you write it down, you're very clear. Those three things you want to achieve today. What happens? You focus on those three things, and when someone calls you, say, "No, that can wait. I will call you back later," or whatever, because you have things to do. And you need to be very intentional with your time also. So if you write it down, what do you want to achieve? There's a much higher chance that you will get it done. Okay. Because there's like this entire thought process behind it, where you need to think about, what do I want to achieve? When will I achieve it? And so forth. And guys, it's a game changer. It's actually so easy, but it makes a difference, I guarantee. And then last but not least, the affirmation list. So basically it comes down to positive self-talk, because we all know what happens if you talk to yourself negatively. If you tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you're a bad parent, that you I don't know, look bad, you don't look attractive, and nobody wants you. Even when it's not true, say it enough times and it will be reality. You start believing it, and you will be in a very, very bad mental place, right? Now, this also works the other way around. If you tell yourself good things, you will eventually believe that, and you start behave in a way. Okay, it's almost like a manifest. Okay, you tell yourself what you're going to be, and you will eventually get there. And this is why it's so important that it's a I am, that you speak it out in present. Okay, you're saying, "I'm a good father, I'm a loving husband, I am a business owner, I am this and that." It's important that you say in present, and say enough times you start believing it. Obviously, it takes much more. You cannot say, "I'm a millionaire," and hope that you get a millionaire, or that you're a millionaire the next day. It doesn't work like that. But you need to believe that you can get there. You really need to believe that. Again, positive self-talk, very, very important. And after all, it also makes you think of what you really want in life. So great exercise there as well. So again, these three things, those are the basics. And again, I tried various forms of journals, morning journals, evening journals. I bought various journals. Again, some contained significantly more questions, others less. And they worked great, I have to admit. They worked great. But what I missed personally, because I'm the fitness guy, right, are questions in regards to fitness and health. Because of course I want to be productive. Of course I want to do my best at work and relations, in regards to relationship and everything. But I also want to look and feel good, and a lot of journals somehow neglected that part. Okay, so what I did, I adapted questions from those journals and added some of my own. Okay, introducing the High Performance Body Journal. Okay, it's my very first physical product. For those who watch it now on YouTube, this is it. I'm super hyped about it, because so far I have like a lot of ebooks, I have my online coaching, everything virtual, and this is something that is now physical, that I can touch, and that they can do without my computer. So I'm super proud about that. The goal of this journal is it helps you to look good and feel good. That's it. Okay. It helps you to reach your fitness goals. It helps you to improve your career situation. It helps you to cultivate better relationships. All of that in one journal. It's for your physical health. It's for your mental health. It will help in any aspect of your life. Okay. Literally any aspect. And I'm going to explain now how I set it up, okay? Because it's actually much more than just like a daily journal. What we have in here is, number one, a life assessment, okay? To find specific areas in your life for improvements. So you will rate your life in various aspects. So how are your relationships? How is your career? How is your physical health, and so forth? You give yourself a number, and you will find, okay, in this area, I probably need to do something because I'm pretty low. I having, rated myself good in relationships, and spiritual health and so on is good, but here fitness is not too good. So I need to work on that. Okay. Then number two, we have a framework for goal setting. And this is very, very important, that when you see, okay, you have potential in a specific area of your life, then you set the goal. Okay, this I want to achieve. And obviously you not only write what you want to achieve, but also why you want you achieve that, and then also what action steps will you do to achieve that. Very, very important, right? Because you cannot just say you want to start your own business and not do anything about it, or that you want to gain 5 kilograms of muscle mass, but not do anything about it. So you need to know why you did and how you did. Okay. Then we have a weekly planner in there that is designed to help you align your activities with your long-term goals. So, if you have big projects, you really need to plan those activities in your agenda, and you need to see and reflect how it's going on a weekly basis. Okay, so you basically say, okay, I set my goals. Where am I? What I need to do the next 7 days in order to achieve those goals. And then at the end of the week, you have the reflection page where you review the week, see what happened, write down what you did well, where you need to improve, and so on, what you need to do better next week, and so on. Identify areas for potential improvements. So very, very important. And then, of course, you have the daily pages. Daily pages to get your mind right in the morning when you wake up. Just a few questions you need to answer every single morning. And then in the evening, where you can reflect the day and see, okay, this was good, this was not so good, didn't need to do better tomorrow, and so forth. How you do it? Pretty simple. Every morning, you take 5 minutes to write the journal. Every evening, 5 minutes. And then on weekends, so Saturdays and Sundays, it's whenever you want. It's like 5 to 10 minutes that you need, okay? How I do it, I wake up in the morning, I go for a daily walk, I come back, make breakfast, do journal, and then I start working. Okay, this is like the in my schedule, obviously depending on whether I need to bring my daughter to kindergarten or not, and when she wakes up and so forth. But in general, this is a schedule and it works very well. Now, journaling works, but most importantly, it works only as long as you actually do it. Okay? So if you want to level up your life, your career, your business, your health, I highly recommend you start journaling. Plan it in, okay? Every single morning, make it like a routine. Again, it doesn't take a lot of time, and if you want to use mine, then use the link in the description. Also, you can search on Amazon for High Performance Body Journal. You can also enter my name. It should come up, okay? By doing so, you don't only do yourself a favor, but obviously you also support me, which I would highly appreciate. So, I think that's enough for today. Now you know what I personally do, why journaling is so important, and what it can possibly do. There's a lot of benefits, how you can get started too. And if you take one thing away from this episode, then it's simply this. If you journal, then keep doing it. If you don't journal yet, start now.